You've been caught in the rant trap where I rant about whatever my commenters want me to rant about. This one comes from Crunchy Bagels, who says, rant about story ideas you have. They can be ones you don't think you'll ever release, ones you think you'll make someday, and anything in between. You can be as spoiler heavy or spoiler free for your own work as you like. So fun fact about me, I love fucking creative writing and especially fiction writing. It is a pipe dream of mine to one day make my own story, whether it be a webcomic or my own shonen manga, or even like a TV show, anything like that. I want to write something, anything like that. Not necessarily a novel, because I don't really enjoy novel writing. I like scripts and screenplays more than just the full text only based descriptions of a novel. That doesn't appeal to me as much. But scripting and screenplay writing, that's more my bag. As far as stories that I've written before, I've never. Well, actually, no. We should take this all the way back to the beginning. The earliest story that I've ever written that wasn't original, but got my feet wet into exploring creative writing was fanfiction.net. When I was oh fuck, what was this? This was back when I was in middle school. I think it carried into high school a little. I definitely stopped at some point in high school, but I think it started in middle school, carried into, I want to say, my sophomore year. I think I killed it right around junior year. On fanfiction.net, for a time, and I'm very proud of this fact, for a time, I was the highest rated Adventure Time X regular show crossover fanfic, the most viewed, highest rated. It was the Adventure Time and regular show X over Extravaganza. It was about, Mordecai, Rigby, and Finn and Jake crossing over into each other's worlds. And I think it. Oh my god, I can't remember. I can't remember if I made them just, switch worlds, or if I did the smarter, more sensical thing and take the plain characters of Mordecai and Rigby and drop them into the world of Adventure Time, because there's way more infinite ideas there. I think I probably did exactly that. So, that was the whole thing. They went to go fight the shadowed, darkness god or whatever. There were a bunch of OCs that they had to fight. They developed shonen anime powers, because of course they did. Gumball and Steven Universe, I was gonna make it they got brought into the mix. I was gonna make it the Avengers of Cartoon Network crossovers, but at some point, I just stopped caring, because I was like, as cool as this is and as much fun as I'm having, I don't really want to write fan fiction anymore. I feel like I've gotten everything that I'm ever gonna get out of writing these fanfics. I'm just gonna, start thinking about my own original ideas. And I say original ideas, but for a while, especially when I was younger, every original story idea that I've ever had was it was heavily based on whatever my favorite things were at the time. I think every single one of my stories, except for one, which I'll get into later, is inspired by Dragon Ball Z. Because that's literally one of my fucking all-time favorite things. If you can make a Mount Rushmore of things Neon Mansion enjoys, Dragon Ball Z is going to be on there. So the first story that I didn't fully develop, but I thought of ideas for, was for a Dragon Ball Z-esque, half Dragon Ball Z, half Adventure Time-esque. It basically Dragon Ball Z, but takes place in the world of a setting like Adventure Time. I never dove deeper into this because, similar to, not unlike the fan fiction between Adventure Time and regular show that I used to write before. You can see it, by the way. It's deleted. If you try to look for it, you can. It's all gone. It's lost media. It's literally just Dragon Ball Z in the world of Adventure Time, and in doing so, I just kind of nicked all my ideas from like both series, and that's why I'm not proud of any of the characters outside of nostalgic value for when I was younger. So kicked that one in the head because I was like, I can do better than this. The next one that I gave a lot more thought into, somewhat, was one that was Dragon Ball Z, but it's in the world of Steven Universe. Because at that time, I think I was in my teens, and I was thinking of like, oh man, what if I could take this? I already love the story of Steven Universe, but what if I tweak it in such a way that it gets more like cooler fight scenes? Because Steven Universe has fight scenes, and some of them are banger, but they're so few and far between. I was like, all of these like cool, heavy emotional moments in Steven Universe is great, and I enjoy what fights there are there. But it'd be banger as hell if Garnet, went Super Saiyan and unlocked a high level of power level. Their fusion is already in Steven Universe. So you can't exactly blame me there. So I had made a few more characters for that, and more original characters with more original backstories where they didn't just, I didn't just rip off a character that was already in one of the other two shows. But those characters I am a lot more attached to, and well, I can never pursue an actual story about them to write because a lot of them rely on the tropes and conventions of Dragon Ball Z and Steven Universe to a detrimental degree. I would definitely incorporate them into my current big action shonen story that I do want to write and have thought about the most of out of any story that's not that is a shonen, because there is another one that's not a shonen that I have given a lot of thought about that I do want to also write, which is the most original thing that I've thought of. I'll get into that right after this. This story that I even have a title for my shonen. It's called Godwing, and it's to give you the elevator pitch. It's what if the Owl House, but also Dragon Ball Z, which I know has been the running theme about the other stories, but this one, I'm like trying to distance myself as far away from like characters as possible. So I'll give you the brief plot synopsis of this one because I am proud of this one. And don't you dare be stealing my ideas, you three people listening to this. Fuck me. So it's the story about similar to Owl House. The main character is a human. Her name is Winifred Merrick, and I have yet to 100% nail down her nationality. I want her to be Welsh because I like Welsh accents a lot, but I also kind of want her to be Hawaiian. I want her to be I'm not 100% if I want her to be brown or just something that's not Caucasian. I've yet to pin that down. Let's say for right now, she's somehow this impossibly perfect combination of Welsh and Hawaiian. So, I haven't 100% also nailed down her backstory yet. I know that she does get transported into a magical fantasy world where everyone are these magicians that they're basically people who do magic, but instead of witches and wizards, we'll call them magicians because there's all different kinds of magic that one can do. And I haven't nailed it down yet, but I do want to say she is an orphan. She has no parents. I have no idea if I'm gonna have her like be in an orphanage or have her be like a runaway. I'm kind of toying with her being a runaway, but I won't dive into it too much because this isn't a brainstorming session. She's 17 at the start of the series, and it will be one of those things where there will be time skips. She will become an adult as the show goes on because that's always rewarding in shonen, in my opinion. So she gets transported to a magical world, and there she meets Edwin Malekith. I think that's what I settled on his name. I might not have 100% settled on that yet, but I know I want his last name to be Malekith because that's a cool, fun, edgy like demon name for his role, because his shtick is that he has a bit of a problem. He used to be a normal human in the magician world, or whatever I'm gonna call the humans, or like the normal people in the magic world. He used to be a normal guy, but on his quest to be the strongest shonen magician that no one ever was, he came to the conclusion that, you know, I feel like I hit a plateau, a peak with my magic powers in my current state, and I don't think I can get any stronger. And in a moment of weakness, he goes on a quest to find this magic ring that turns him into a demon, because he thinks, okay, if I'm a demon, if I give up my humanity in exchange for demonhood, then I can unlock a new level of magical power. However, you're not supposed to do that, because turning into a demon will turn you into a evil like monster. Like there are two races of demons in this magical world that I have. There's the normal demons who, while they do have their own demon society, which is a lot more rigid, strict, and fucked up than a typical, our relative normal human society, they still, won't, they'll abide by laws, they'll abide by their own laws, they won't, just, they're not like your free-run demons who just kill, have literally incapable of feeling human emotion. They do feel emotion, and they are, pretty down-to-earth at times, just more rowdy than your average person. More rowdy than a human, or whatever the normal magician will be. And then there are, like, the straight-up monster demons, where they're, like, the domestic, let's call them domesticated demons and monster demons. Domesticated demons are, typical bipedal ones, humanoid, look like people, but with, some demon attributes, like maybe they'll have horns, or maybe they'll have extra appendages, maybe they'll have extra eyes. Whereas monster demons are they're just more like monsters. They can come in all different shapes and sizes, and most of them, I might like fiddle with this concept, but most of them are just like what you think of as monsters. They have no regard for human life. They're basically wild animals, but with, some of them can have crazy magic powers. That demon ring was supposed to turn him into a domestic demon, but there was a chance that it could... Wait, is this what I did? No. Okay, no. It's considered a crime. It's considered like the ultimate shame to cast aside your humanity and then ascend into demonhood, because it's basically like the equivalent of race changing. Like no human should ever want, like there's no segregation among humans and domesticated demons in this world, but it's almost like blackface. But you actually go through with it instead of like a temporary thing for a bad joke. It's like this is like you actually transcend your current race and transform into the other one. That's considered like the ultimate shame. And he was like, I think I'll just get so strong that I'll overcome, the shame. He does get the ring, and he does cast aside his humanity and becomes a demon. However, he thought that he would have the ability to take off the ring whenever he wanted and revert back into a human form. That is not the case, because the ring fuses to his hand, onto his finger, and he can never take it off no matter how hard he tries. And now he's stuck as a demon, a powerful demon, mind you. He's one of the strongest people in his in the little kingdom nation that he's gonna be a part of, that the start of the story is gonna take place in. He's gonna be like one of the strongest top guys, maybe a Gojo like, but not so overpowered. Maybe more like a Kakashi. He's gonna be like one of the senseis. But he's gonna also be an outcast because he transcended his humanity for demonhood, which is a big no-no. And now he can't even hide it because he is now permanently a demon. But that's enough about Malekith. So the main crux of the story, the main dynamic, is that Winifred, who I call Win for short, she gets, however I decided, transported to the fantasy world, and one of the first people she'll encounter is Edwin Malekith, and he is doesn't have the highest moral compass, and he takes her in to help her out at first, but then at one point he's going to get her. Maybe either he tricks her or he he's gonna trick her somehow. I haven't. This is all very much work in progress. The most I've written about this, and I know this is very scattershot, so but 3 people are only gonna listen to this anyway, and one of them's gonna be Crunchy because he requested it, and I know he gets a boner over hearing other people's creative stories. So, fuck, I immediately forgore my train of thought. Yeah, so it's all a work in progress. The only bit of the story that I've even remotely written out is I have written one bit of screenplay that I turned in for a job application for a entry-level writing position at a indie game company. No word on any response yet, so stay tuned for that. I hope they are really impressed with a moment that I picked out. Maybe I'll talk about it here if I have time. I won't let this go over 25 minutes because 25 seems like a perfect, reasonably amount of time. So he's probably, let's say Edwin is going to trick Win into putting on a slave collar or like some slave something. It's gonna be a thing that makes her a slave to Malekith, not in any like gross degenerate way, like oh, I'm gonna turn you into, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna make you blow me. But it's going to be a deterrent, like, all right, I need your, because you are a an anomaly in this world of being like a normal human instead of a magician human who has no magic powers. I think I'll be able to use you to help me figure out a way to get this ring off of me, because you're such a rarity and a unique thing in this world that you can help deal with this anomaly that I have on my finger. So the start of the story is going to be like her unwittingly, but she kind of doesn't really have a choice, has to help Malekith on several like quests for him and helping him get stuff to help maybe fix his ring problem. And she can't refuse, otherwise she gets hurt by a shock. And Edwin, yeah, I'm trying to write it in a way so it doesn't make him out to be like a bastard who enslaves this random girl. He does, care for her. She'll, if he sees that she's truly terrified of something or is in over her head on something, he'll like only use the slave thing to draw her back, and like make her retreat. And he wants to keep her safe. He doesn't want to. He values her life. He wouldn't leave her to die. And I will make a point. This will be the only spoiler that I give out. Well, maybe I'll talk about a couple big, not big spoilers, but the end of like one of the probably first or second arc, when their relationship gets like finally firmly established and they have a teacher-student relationship. He's going to undo the slave binding whatever MacGuffin, and he's gonna give him the option. Okay, like I think like you've given me enough of a lead. I think I can take it from here. I will free you from the slave thing. I'll help you like find room and board here. I'll help you enroll in the Magician's Academy here, so you can or take on quests and earn money for yourself. But if you don't want to like be around me anymore, 100% understand. But she'll choose to stay with him because they'll have developed a bond that will like last throughout the rest of the series. If it sounds sloppy at first, that's because it probably is. I promise, or at least I'll do my best to promise it'll all sound a lot better uh closer when I actually decide to write it and make, I don't know, 2030, haha. So that's that, and then the next big arc will be at the Magic Academy, the Magician's Academy, where Win is going to enroll and become a magician so she can, earn her keep and make a living in this world. And she'll meet some new friends. She'll meet did I ever settle on that? I think I settled on like Minnie Anne. Maybe did I think that the hyphen the combo name of Minnie hyphen Anne was too cringe and decided on just keeping it at Minnie? Maybe I did. We'll say Minnie for now. Yeah. So Minnie. Fuck, I'm second guessing myself. Fuck it. For the sake of the rant, Minnie is gonna be her best friend character. She's gonna be magician. Quick explanation of the power system in this world. There's gonna be the magic is based on elements, and there's gonna be broad strokes, like fire, water, lightning, earth, plant or life, light, darkness. That's gonna be the main the elements. But then there's gonna be like little subgenres of like little things that you can do within magic, like an earth magic that you could do a thing where you can coat you study a path of like rock magic where you can coat your entire body in an armor of rock, or you can learn to use a golem, which is like a kind of like a robot or like an android that you made of rock that you remotely control by mirroring its movements. Whether you do an action and it'll copy your action, or say that one person in the fire track of the fire magic will grow some fireballs and like shoot them around, or someone could study a track of they imbue things with fire, or instead of having the fire come from within, they pull fire from the sun and use like solar powered fire magic. It'll sound a lot cooler. Okay, this is probably gonna go over 25 minutes. No more, somewhere between 25 and 30. I will not let it go past 30. Yeah, she's gonna enroll, but big problem. She doesn't have an aura, which is where magicians draw their magic from, because she's not, she wasn't born with it. She is a normal ass human in this world of magic humans. So what is she to do? Because in this world of dangerous magic things, she's gonna get her ass turned to grass real fast. So what Edwin comes up with is that at first he'll give her a potion that will permanently increase her stamina, strength, and reflexes to a point where it won't make her, overly powerful. She'll be about like the equivalent of a child in a magic child in this world. But she, it'll get to a point where she can take a fireball to the chest and not like burst into flames and turn to ashes immediately. It'll be more like a punch to her, or like she won't get like flicked by someone with imbuing magic into their hands to hit harder, and like she won't get flicked and then like her entire body won't get severed in half. So that'll work out at first, but then it's gonna be like, okay, but I'm not gonna get far because I can't throw a fireball or make a pillar of rock or shoot create a ring of ice. So what am I gonna do, Edwin? And so there are this is what I wanted to do, and it is partly gypped from Owl House, but I wanted to put a unique spin on it. So, and to be fair, this also happens at Witch Atelier, kind of the same thing, beat for beat. Not what I'm doing, but what happens between Owl House and Witch Hat. So there are a series. There's an outdated magic of magical runes that was the precursor to auras, where you could, write down like the magic alphabet essentially, and you can make a fire rune or a ice rune or a lightning rune, and that's how people used to use magic back in the day before auras got so strong to the point where people started casting the magic themselves, and they got a better grasp of magic, and they could just do it themselves without having to write out magic. Like there's like spell books are a thing of the past, like grimoires and shit. But she will have no choice but to use it, but she can't write the words into existence because even then she would need like the slightest bit of aura to even, bring the runes, breathe magic power into the runes. But then this is the last big spoiler that I'll get into. Her big twist, and this is gonna come into a big climactic moment where she's gonna fight her rival character, Adam, who uses fire magic, and he's got he's like the cool, he's the Sasuke or the Vegeta or the Bakugo, the rival character to win. Who I won't have time to get into now before this whole thing goes like way too long. But yeah, they're gonna have a big fight. That's gonna be like the climax of one arc, and it's gonna be revealed that Win is going to have carved rune, like all of the magic runes onto her body. She have taken like probably like a magic knife or like an enchanted knife, and she'll carve onto her skin. And it will, if I ever get it like drawn as a web manga or web comic, I do want to make it a little graphic, where like she'll tear off her. I want to give her an outfit that, because she's gonna be 17 at the time, so I don't want her revealing any inappropriate amounts of skin. But I do want her, at the very least, her back exposed. I kind of want to model her outfit off of the design when she's in a fight. In the design of the outfits that I forget what they were called, but like the ninjas in the Bleach from the Soul Society that Yoruichi and Soifon had, where their backs were exposed, that made them faster or some shit. Like their arms and backs were exposed. Across her arms and her back is just gonna be carvings of the runes that have been infused now because she carved it so deep into her body. It bleeds, it pulls from her blood. So that way, she converts at the start of that. Her first foray into using magic is that she's gonna turn her blood into whatever magic element she wants, and that's going to because blood magic was also like the runes a now outdated form of magic, but I don't think anyone thought to combine runes with body, like self mutilation to utilize blood magic. So that's gonna be a big thing. It's gonna let her hold her own in a fight against Adam. Will she win? Will she lose? Who knows? But that's enough about Godwing. Real quick, the last thing I want to talk about is my rom-com story, which I also have a title for, called Arrow Through the Heart, which is, in short, about a dude in his 20s named Percival Valentine living in the real world, where one day he wakes up and realizes, oh shit, I brought a succubus home from the bar, and we totally did the nasty, but she's not going home, and she's asking me to live with me because she has nowhere else. She is a bum and doesn't have a home to go back to. And her name is Sylphin Brandy. Yeah, that's right. It's Sylphin Brandy. So they have a whole like, okay, we're gonna build our relationship off of we're just gonna be like sex buddies, and I guess you can live here for now. But then their relationship is going to grow into a more wholesome one, and then it's gonna go from a sexual relationship to a romantic relationship. And my biggest hurdle with that is to make it in a way so that it doesn't portray the relationship as trashy and doesn't like come across as, oh, if you bring home someone from a bar when you're both drunk and you have sex, maybe that relationship could shoot off into a good one. I want to like kind of model it after Dragon Maid. That's its primary inspiration, but make it more a little more sexually charged, and make it like a whole. I want to cross the boundary or blur the line between sexy and wholesome, because I want their relationship to be a special one that's believable, but also can be raunchy at times because she is a succubus, and there'll be other succubi that he'll find out about and be like, wait, there's been a whole succubus culture on Earth, but like there's not so many of you, and that you've been purposely gone into hiding so that way you don't get like brought exposed and hunted down by people because you're technically monsters. That's a whole thing. I've written the first chapter of that out. So I have made about equal progress on both of them. I have been in talks with an artist about maybe making a couple character sheets and maybe a test like pilot first chapter of Arrow Through the Heart, but that would require a shit ton of money that I would not be able to pursue, even think about pursuing, until I get a full-time job. And even then, I would have to like spare very little amounts of money towards it, because I have to prioritize, my own future, getting a place to live, making sure that I have money tucked away in case of emergency, etc., etc. Adult stuff. Can't always be wanting to fund your succubus ex 25-year-old dude, half porn, half wholesome comic. You gotta get your priorities straight. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You got a little more than 30 minutes out of me, but that's because if I let myself, I could talk about these stories till the cows come home. But in short, I would like to pursue them someday. I just don't have the means of justifying doing so right now, because if I do want to make them, I want to make them like as a screenplay or as a webcomic. So maybe one day that'd be nice if I could pursue it. Oh god, I've got the hiccups. It's time to stop. It would be nice if I could one day pursue it, but for right now, it's just a yet another pipe dream. But hey, maybe one day. Yeah, that's about it. I'll see you in the next one.